Hey everyone, welcome back to Poor Opinion Sports. I'm M,
I'm CM,
Oh, I'm Marsh.
and we have
and
CFM.
we're going to discuss the Deshaun Watson situation and if he's going to start or not.
With this,
I think I don't think it's the argument of if he's going to start or not. I think the more argument with Deshaun is
When he's going to start?
when is he going to get the chance to, if he's going to get the chance to. Um,
yeah,
I
because
Like,
think
yeah,
he made a mistake turning down what he was offered. So basically, what he was told was it's an indefinite suspension, and you can appeal it at 12 weeks. At 12 weeks into suspension, you can say, "I think it was unfair. Let me play again," which Josh Gordon must have done 1,000 times in his career.
hmm
Um, I think Deshaun Watson would have been reinstated realistically when the playoffs started. I think he would have played playoff football if he would have taken that. But because he wants a set end date on it, you think when we see the words indefinite suspension, we assume it's permanent and it's going to take all the media pressure off the NFL. That's what they want. But when you don't make it permanent, now they have to make it extra long, and now so that people don't look at it and go, "Well, that's not fair."
hmm
Especially after they just banned Calvin Ridley for a year for gambling. Like you can't go from gambling's a year off to sexual assault. Oh, it's cool. Well, 2 3 weeks, call it a day. You know what I mean?
yeah,
I mean, they did, well, basically, with the Saints and Bountygate, they played harder. People lost a year of play. And then you got Ray Rice literally having camera of him beating and punching on his wife, and he got suspended for a game.
yeah. The same,
To be
same
fair,
thing.
Ray Rice. To be fair, the owners of the league, or like you know what I mean, like not the league, but the teams in the league, kind of handled the Ray Rice thing. They made
The,
sure he wasn't. They made sure he wasn't on the team.
also, but the another thing is just like you said, the gambling thing for Calvin Ridley. I don't get how that should be a year. I feel like it should be even. I feel like maybe a half a season. So
I feel like the rule needs to be rewrote. I feel like you should be allowed to gamble on games that your team is not participating in. So, like, if I'm like on the Lions, there should be nothing prohibiting me from like betting on a Packers versus Bears game. I don't see why
hmm
that's against the rules.
I get it if it's against a team you're playing.
Yeah, like I said, if it's a game you're involved in, yeah, I get that. I don't think you should be allowed to like bet on like player over unders on your team. I don't think you should be able to bet on player over unders on teams you're playing against. And I don't think you should be allowed to bet on, anyone you're up against. But if it's doesn't involve your game, you should be able to bet on it.
Yeah. Well, while we wait for CFM to text here, to do his thing. Okay, he said, I think if you're betting against your team, I think, should be suspended. Otherwise, it should be fine. Yeah, uh, I do agree with that. But after that one
I
year,
also
after
sorry,
that,
continue.
yeah, after that 1 year suspension of gambling, there's no way Deshaun Watson shouldn't be suspended for a year or more.
Yeah,
Actually, more than a year.
yeah, yeah. I agree with that. I also think kind of back to like what CFM was saying. I don't think you should be able to bet for a player on your team. And the reason why I say that is like players in the league have a little more pool than your average um what's it average person. Like if I bet right now that Calvin Ridley would go over 65 yards, right? Then like that's like there's no I can't influence that bet at all. But if Calvin
Yeah,
Ridley bets that Calvin Ridley is going to go over 65 yards, he can go up to Matt Ryan in the huddle. Hey, I bet like $3 million on this. Get me the ball. And Matt Ryan's going to get him the
exactly.
ball. So I don't feel like they should have that sort of ability. And I kind of describe that in a way it's a little more black and white. And people are going to comment and tell me I'm wrong on that. And I am because I simplified it too much. But
hmm
there's a little more impact with
Even if
player people.
even if you're not playing on, you should not be able to bet or against or on your team, since you will still have insider
Yeah,
information. But if it's
yeah. Um, what's weird though is they can play fantasy.
mhm,
That's what always surprised me was I didn't think about that. I didn't realize that would be like something they could do. But I bet that they can't put money on it. I bet that's one of the rules. It's like you can play fantasy, but you can't bet on it.
yeah.
I bet that's how it works. But still, like I didn't think they'd be allowed to do that.
Well,
The
yeah,
more you know.
that reminds me of something, of a story about Cooper Cup's dad always being able to draft Cooper Cup, right? Since apparently
Oh,
just
and then
yeah,
yeah,
then
now he can't.
yeah, does this they're not gonna give up the chance to get a person who got 1,800 something yards. We haven't had someone that good
Yeah,
of yardage since Calvin Johnson.
yeah. Speaking of fantasy, real quick, I want to talk about something because everyone's been talking about Alvin Kamara being like a #1 overall pick in fantasy this year, or at least like a first round pick. Did people forget that he beat the shit out of that dude in Vegas? Like
Yeah,
he's gonna get suspended for that. Like
if he
he
they
may
have
get an 8
camera
week
footage,
suspension for that. Yeah, he may get an 8 week suspension for that straight up. Like just right there.
and I feel like it should be more though. If it's get that's the thing is they went too harsh with Calvin Ridley there. They have to do something more for
Well,
some
here's the
beating
thing
up
about the
someone.
Calvin Ridley thing. They were just trying to make Calvin Ridley an example. Like it or not, I agree with what they did on a principle. Yeah, they probably shouldn't have like gone as overboard as they did punishing Calvin Ridley, but they did that so that other players won't do the same thing. I understand that. They made an example out of him and they put him up and said, "Hey, if you do this, you're going to miss this." And like I get that, but
Yeah.
I don't think you can. I don't think that suspension is a normal suspension, so I won't use that as a baseline for similar suspensions.
All right. Let's move to the Baker trade here, our main topic. What do you think
See,
about it?
actually, see him since you're a Browns fan, you should say
All
something
right.
first.
So I think the Panthers got that easy win. Let's just start off with that. I think it was a conditional fifth round pick, right?
Yep.
Something like that. It's they and the Browns are paying still paying for Baker, like I think half a contract. So the Browns are paying for Baker Mayfield to try to beat them week one. The Panthers have a good enough roster for him to be good. He got that surgery with his shoulder, so he's most likely still gonna be decent at least. The Browns just could have got more of him if they traded him before the Deshaun Watson trade. That's what I think.
So here's what I put. So I put my thoughts on Carolina was a great deal. They lost a conditional pick. If Baker goes out there and gets hurt, they get to keep Baker next year, and they don't lose the pick even. There's a good chance they lose nothing. Um, it's a system that really works for Baker. So Cleveland runs the ball a lot more than most teams. I think they were like dead last in passing attempts.
Yeah,
Carolina was like fourth in passing attempts or fifth. So Baker's gonna get a chance to like throw the ball more than we've ever seen. And he's never had a bad passing season when he was healthy, in my opinion, and I don't think he will in Cleveland so long as the line can hold up for 3 seconds at a time. Um, However, Baker's never had a chance to prove himself as a guy who can elevate a team that's on the edge of being there. Carolina has a defense. They have a receiving core. I think Curtis Samuel is one of the better receivers in the league. DJ Moore is great. Now it's just time for all they're missing is a line and a quarterback. And Baker go up, take a team that's on the edge of being great, and take him to compete for the lead of a division. I don't expect him to win it. Brady's there. That's Brady's division as long as he's there. But can he compete for it? Cleveland. Not only is it just a horrible decision, Like absolutely horrible, dumb. Why would you do that? But
Mhm.
uh, like the the way they mismanage it was horrible. And what I mean by that is why go first of all, why even trade for Deshaun Watson? You have a quarterback who's great. You want to talk about immaturity, yes, that and this. You know how many immature quarterbacks there are? I mean, look at the Zach Wilson news from today.
Oh yeah.
Immaturity is a thing that comes with young quarterbacks, and we're gonna have to get used to that. And honestly, like I'm okay with that because it motivates Baker in this weird way. His immaturity isn't from a place of immaturity. It's more of like a chip on his shoulder. He plays emotionally. His heart's on his sleeve. It's not that he doesn't understand what he's doing is wrong. It's that he doesn't care. And I can
Yeah.
respect that. But there's not very much reward in gaining Deshaun, first of all. You're a run first team, like I said earlier. You're not gonna get shit back for Baker because everyone knows that you're getting rid of Baker now. And why would you not tell Baker that you're going to make a move for Deshaun first? Because if you go talk with Baker and say, hey, if we've got a chance to get a guy who can go and take us to a Super Bowl, we're going to do that. I guarantee you Baker would say, I understand. He may not be happy
Exactly.
about it and he might want out still, but you have a chance at retaining him if you talk to him first. If you say, hey, we need you one more year and then we'll trade you wherever the hell you want. Can you play one more year for us? He might have sat down and said, let's do it, but you're giving me a pay raise this year. That would have been it. I really do think Baker loved the city of Cleveland. He even said in an interview after they traded for Deshaun, yeah, it hurts, but if they come sit down and talk to me, we can save this. And they never did it. They just started shopping him.
Yeah, which is
So
stupid.
honestly, Baker or not Baker, Cleveland ruined this. I mean, they had their guy. And yeah, I don't think Baker's ever going to be a guy that can take you to Super Bowl. And I hope I'm wrong on that. But I really don't. But I do think he should have played his entire career in Cleveland, or at least until he wanted out of Cleveland. I mean, what
Yeah.
he did for that city to be the way he was is horrible.
I actually think, like, I don't think Baker would take you over the hump, but I feel like he could be a quarterback on a Super Bowl team. You just have to, like, he's not gonna bring you over the hump, but he's not gonna not take you there if you have a Super Bowl roster.
Yeah. Well, I don't know because I feel like that's what I said about Jared Goff, and he took a Super Bowl roster there and then put up 3 points in a Super Bowl. I feel like you have to have a high level quarterback to win a Super Bowl, but
I mean, the
and I
Ravens
stand by
won
that.
with Joe
The
Flacco.
last yeah, but that was also a very different league. That was what 10, 15 years ago now.
Yeah, I think it was like
Yeah,
20. Was
maybe
it 2012 or
it was
something? No, that was not it.
20, that was
2012.
yeah. So 10 years ago now. The league's changed a lot in the last 10 years, even just play style. But I mean, think about the last few not elite quarterbacks we've had in the Super Bowl.
Jimmy
Um,
G.
Jimmy G lost. Uh,
Rex
um,
Grossman.
Joe Burrow's great. I don't think he's elite yet. I think he just had a great year. He lost. Matthew Stafford's an exception. He, but that roster was insane. And
He brought them
no,
over the
actually,
hump.
yeah, I will. I'll say Matthew Stafford's elite. So elite quarterback. And then you have Jared Goff, who was in the Super Bowl before that.
Chicago Bears
Cam
quarterback.
Newton was an MVP that year. But I
Chicago
mean,
quarterback.
yeah. And then I mean, like, there's exceptions. Nick Foles doing Nick Foles things. I mean, that's gonna happen
Yeah.
He's
every
the
now
GOAT.
and then. There's gonna be a few exceptions, but typically you have to have a high level quarterback. I feel like with the right squad, Baker could do it, but it's any team that can get a team built is gonna find a quarterback.
I'm gonna say this though. I like the Browns trade, but it hurt the Browns more than it helped them. Yes, they got
Mhm.
rid of Baker. Yes, they got yes they got rid of Baker, but for a conditional fifth round pick, I feel like what they should have done was they should have traded Baker. If they want to trade Baker to Carolina, they should have said, "Hey, we're going to trade you." Before they got Deshaun Watson, they should have said, "Hey, we're going to trade you for Sam Darnold or somebody, so they can get higher value out of him." Carolina can get robbed or whatever. They got Baker Mayfield, and then Browns can get a decent player or a decent second or third round pick for Baker, and then come in and get Deshaun Watson and have whoever they traded for or whatever with Deshaun
Well,
Watson.
the only problem with that is there's no guarantee they would get Deshaun Watson, right? Because
Yeah,
like, what if they trade Baker and then they don't get Deshaun? Now they've just put themselves in an even worse situation than they're in now. But honestly, I still think that would be better than what they're in now.
yeah. And then also, one thing about the Browns trade is I don't know how Carolina is going to do with Baker Mayfield because Robbie Anderson obviously do not like Baker Mayfield. He says he's going to retire if the Browns and Carolina trade it. So we don't know about that locker room situation with Baker
Well, here's the
Mayfield.
thing. Luckily enough for Baker, Robbie Anderson is not open nearly enough to have to worry about his dad posting a highlight video on YouTube. So I think
Yeah,
Baker should be fine on that one. Like if I'm Baker Mayfield, I'm not worried about Robbie Anderson because I know I'm a better player than Robbie Anderson. And if I'm the Carolina Panthers and I go, oh, I've got to piss off this fourth string receiver or my starting quarterback, I've made my decision. I'll
Yeah.
cut Robbie Anderson right now just to prove a point.
yeah,
What has he really done to contribute the last 2 years anywhere? New
nothing.
York, Carolina. He's never had an
And
elite, even a high level, just good year in his career.
then again, he did have Sam Darnold some years
Yeah,
ago.
that's what I'm saying. Is he can't complain about Baker when he's had Sam Darnold his whole career. Like you can't, beggars can't be choosers, man.
Yeah, but hey, we don't know what Carolina locker room going to be like. DJ
Yeah.
Moore, we don't know if he likes it or not. He doesn't say nothing. Curtis Samuel, he
Now,
don't say nothing.
those are the well. No, wait, Curtis Samuel. I fucked that up earlier. Actually, he's in Washington now, isn't he?
I think.
No, I think so.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
so. Yeah,
Curtis Samuel, he's in Washington.
yeah. That's he
But
was in
DJ
Carolina
Moore,
2 years ago.
yeah, it's just DJ Moore and Robbie Anderson, and that's the only receivers I can name out of Carolina.
Uh, yeah. Hold on. Let me Google their depth chart real quick because it's not a bad receiving core. It's just I don't remember it off the top of my head. I remember thinking it was nice whenever I saw the trade. It would fit really well.
Yeah.
Uh,
The Panthers, one of the
DJ
teams.
Moore, Robbie Anderson, Terrence Marshall Jr., Rashard Higgins, then just a bunch of practice squad guys, more or less. But Christian McCaffrey also, but I don't know. He's kind of built of like fiberglass, so we'll see how that goes.
Uh,
If Ian Thomas is healthy, he's a great tight end.
the Rashard Higgins is actually a great signing for the Panthers from this year. He's not elite or even like a very good receiver, but he's a receiver that can make like some plays. Plus, he also has chemistry with the
Have you?
Baker. So
Yeah. I mean, my word for word thoughts on him. Whenever I read his name, I'm like, oh, there's Robbie Anderson, number two. If Robbie Anderson wants to throw a fit and leave, hey, Rashard Higgins, you want Robbie Anderson's job?
yeah, and
That's what I mean.
I honestly rather Rashard Higgins because he already has chemistry with Baker. They like each
Yeah,
other from what we could see. From they're
mhm,
probably the main two guys celebrating when either of them score a touchdown.
yeah. Well, and then
I
also let's not
mean,
forget that the Panthers' defense last year was the best one through the first 3 weeks until J.C. Horn got hurt. J.C. Horn was on pace to be the best rookie corner until A.J. Terrell broke out in Atlanta. Jeremy Chin is the best young strong safety in the league right now. He plays like a free safety, but he can come down and make big contact down low if you want him to. Corey Littleton, a linebacker, I'm cool with that. He plays Sam, does a really good job there. Shaq Thompson plays Will up there, and I think he's one of the best Will linebackers in the league. And that front four, just in tackles, all that, might be one of the best in football. Just consistently getting pressure. They don't get sacks like big name teams like the Rams, but their run fits are phenomenal, and the way they rush passer just generates pressures and annoys quarterbacks into making mistakes. I've said for years, defense wins championships, run fits build dynasties. And I think that's true. If you can consistently have a coach that can generate good run fits and just hold a team to 2 yards of carry, you're going to be a dynasty. It's how Bill Belichick built his defense, and look at how that turned out.
Yeah. Okay. CFM thing about the Baker trade says the Panthers got a very solid quarterback for a very cheap price and filled with much needed precision. The Browns could have got more, like we said, but they didn't have leverage to. So the Browns could have gotten a third or fourth, even possibly a second, if they played their cards right. But they needed to get rid of him because he wouldn't play them for anymore. The Panthers clearly won despite the issues people might see. Mayfield had surgery and should have been throwing better. Should be throwing better. Sorry. Then he decided to play injured. Panthers easily won the trade there.
Yeah. And I feel like another thing with the Mayfield injury things, people were like, "Oh, look at how bad he played last year," and like people kind of forgot he was playing injured. And even like then, like once they remembered it, like, "Oh, it's his not throwing shoulder." Your not throwing shoulder is super important to the mechanics of a quarterback, and without that, you lose power, you lose accuracy, and you're uncomfortable. If you like go try like right now, anyone pick up a football, throw it without moving your offhand, and then pick it up and move your full body like you normally would when you're throwing a football, and just throw them both as hard as you can and feel the difference. You'll notice a visible difference in throw power, where you want it to go, how accurate it is. Like that's one of the first things I've started coaching kids around here that are going into high school or starting like their sophomore year of high school QB coaching. And the first thing they started doing was like they would like if they hold that arm down, first thing I don't look at anything else in their mechanics. First thing I do is look at their off arm because it's so important to your mechanics that without it you can't play quarterback.
Yeah. Also, people do forget how good Baker played before the injury. Plus, what um how if he actually has a good supporting cast, he can he has the potential to be a top 20, maybe top 10 quarterback. That's a huge maybe, but
Yeah, I mean, I think he could be a top 10 quarterback. I think when you compare him to like Dak, like if you ask me right now, if you put Baker Mayfield in the same position that Dak's in right now, like put him in Dallas, he does that fine.
I see.
I genuinely think he could fill in.
I feel like um it would just be the similar things for Dallas. I don't think it would have hurt Dallas. It wouldn't hurt Dallas that much, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think it'd be almost the exact same.
Maybe a couple more losses, but
Yeah,
All
maybe
right.
one a year.
All right, so so this is our last topic. I know it's been a short episode, but sadly, we couldn't get so much stuff on the show, mainly because the NFL ain't doing really nothing right now. Well, the Zach Wilson drama just came out, so that's probably about something. But hey, it'll be the top five worst and best fans. I'm gonna start off with my top five worst fans in the NFL. Number five, you got the Los Angeles Rams, either non-existent or bandwagons, or ex St. Louis or ex St. Louis people. That's all you need to know. Number four, I got the Chargers. The Chargers, they don't have fans. So that's that. Their fans don't show up to games. They're all in San Diego. They didn't show up to fans when they was in San Diego. And I've been to San Diego. And me personally, I would rather spend my Sunday doing something else that San Diego got. They got a bunch of stuff to do in San Diego other than watch my Sunday watching the Chargers play. Even if they was good, they fans didn't show up.
exactly.
So number three, I got the Las Vegas Raiders, mainly because if you are the opposite if you are the opposite side, if you are rooting for the team that they're playing against, they will fight you. It's a bunch of angry Hispanic people ready to fight in
Yeah.
parking lots. Number two, I got the Philadelphia Eagles. Most people say, actually, no, scratch that. The Eagles are some of the best fans. The
Eagles
second
are the
worst
best
is,
fans, but the worst fans at the same time. They won a
yep,
championship and then almost burnt their city down to celebrate.
you know
Yeah.
what? If it, I'm gonna put the Eagles on the worst list because they booed Santa Claus number one. They're violent.
Wait, what?
Yeah, you didn't know about
They
that?
they booed Santa
No,
Claus.
what's the story behind that?
It
So,
was, I think, the 50s or 40s, whatever, and Santa Claus came out to like give the kids like a Merry Christmas or whatever, and they booed Santa Claus.
That's great. That's the most Philadelphia shit I've ever heard, though.
yeah.
And when they
It's
won
almost
the
as bad
championship,
as the CGI Panther.
when they won a championship, they nearly burnt Philadelphia to the ground. Like they was like they won one Super Bowl, counted one, and they was finna tear the whole city down. I don't know how to take that, but yeah, some of the worst fans. The number one worst fan, the Dallas Cowgirls, the Dallas Cowboys, whatever you want to call them. They're annoying. Every time I talk to a Dallas Cowboys fan, he always brings up five rings, five rings. Every single year, they talk about something. We're gonna
This is
go to the
all
Super Bowl.
your.
We're going to the Super Bowl. That's the Cowboys fans' number one phrase they say before every single season. If they win, we're going to the Super Bowl. If they lose, they blame Dak Prescott, the coaching, or they blame the refs.
They can't
It's
just
not. It's
accept they
nobody's fault.
lost.
Like you lost to a better team. You can get
It's
blown out by
okay
the
though,
Rams.
because they still have the Lakers to cheer for and the Yankees. It's okay.
Yeah, and it's basically the Lakers and Yankees. Like they go to the best. They, I don't know how to say it.
They just go to like
Cowboys.
teams that like they feel like are good, and then like really aren't. Like they just like whatever everyone else likes to be cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They just like it's like they Google what are the most popular sports teams, and they're like, I want that one.
Hmm,
It's
Okay.
very
I would
My.
get it if I would get it if the Dallas Cowboys and most of their fans were from Dallas. Honestly, I live in Dallas right now. The Dallas Cowboys fans in Dallas, they don't be saying this stuff. They actually hate other
oh,
Cowboys fans. I never seen a
that's
franchise
funny.
that hates their fans. Like
Yeah.
Dallas Dallas Cowboys fans, except for the ones in Dallas, are the worst fans. My
Now
top
I'll
five
say this
best.
because I live near Dallas too, and like what I've noticed is like people from outside the state, when you're like that are Cowboys fans, they have this like hope, and they're like, we're gonna win it all. But then people inside Dallas, even when something good happens, like when Amari Cooper started breaking out, they're like, he'll get hurt. Just wait. It always happens. They have no hope. It's great.
It sounds like Browns fans. All right.
Well,
My.
the top five. Yeah, you go, see him.
All right. My top five worst is five Steeler fans. Yes, it might be sound biased, but the Twitter, the Twitter people on the Steeler fans are Twitter are so have no life. They all they do is have notifications on every other team's Twitter page just to say "ill bozo" or something. Uh, but when I talk to other Steeler fans that don't do that on Twitter, they seem okay. The fourth, uh, I'm gonna go with the Browns. Yes, the fourth is gonna be the Browns because um most of them just turned on Baker just because of injury like that, and because they got mad at Baker for being mad for the Deshaun trade, and I've seen people defending Deshaun a lot. Number three, Cowboy fans on three. Like I'm just like what you said, M. It's just annoying hearing them. This is our year. No, it's not, man. Two, the Eagles for booing Santa, and uh, number one, it's gonna be uh the Oh, number one gotta be the Giants. I don't just for me. I seen Giants fans get mad at other teams just for having healthy players. It's like I seen people hate on I seen fans hate on Nick Chubb just because even though he's not even healthy a lot either. I don't like Giant fans.
Right. My bottom five is so fifth. I'm surprised no one mentioned this, and I'm still pissed off about this. Colts fans booed Andrew Luck on his way out,
Oh
and that has
yeah.
never sat
I'm
right with
Colts
me.
fan.
I
I
refuse to respect Colts fans after that.
Okay, never mind. I changed my number one to the Colts. I forgot about that.
Number four, Steelers fans. You guys remember when Ryan Shazier broke his spine
Yeah.
and they got mad? They started getting mad because the game was taking too long to get started again.
Oh
Like
yeah. Oh
dude couldn't walk.
man.
it's a bunch of drunk people in
Bears
Pittsburgh. What do you
fans.
expect?
Wait, what were you saying?
I said it's a bunch of drunk people in Pittsburgh. What do you expect?
True.
Yeah, that's fair. Bears fans never shut the hell up about the 85 Bears, and most of them weren't even alive when the 85 Bears were playing. They're like, well, we have the best team in history. And I'm like, I really don't think you do. I think if we put the 85 Bears against most teams nowadays, they'd get ejected in the first quarter.
Oh, also,
And
how about the teams that actually went undefeated? The Dolphins team. Also, the team that almost went undefeated.
uh,
That the Patriots team.
yeah, no, that Patriots team was the best team of all time. If we're calling it like it is, they just got really unlucky in the Super Bowl.
Was that? Did
Um,
they have Randy Moss at that year? I forget.
Yeah,
yeah,
yes, they
yeah,
did.
they did. Um, second worst. The culture of okay, so LA fans, and I'm grouping them together as one, but like for the we're really just California fans, and I'm including the Raiders in that, even though they're not in California anymore. Raiders fans want to kill you. 49ers fans are all, except for CFM, pretentious and think they have the best team in NFL history every year, but they never say it directly. They just bring up how they're better than everyone for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, fourth, or no, not fourth. I mean, Chargers fans are cool, but they just don't have a lot. Like I don't get how the Chargers don't have a lot of fans. By the way, I'm gonna go on a little rant here. Justin Herbert is the most rootable guy ever. I don't get how you can hate Justin Herbert. I have all the reason in the world to hate Justin Herbert. You guys want to know what my pro comp was for Justin Herbert coming out of college?
What?
Mitchell Trubisky. That's what I expected out of him. Mitchell
Mm.
Trubisky. So, I have all the reason in the world to want him to be bad because it makes me look smart, and I can't root against him. Why are there not more Chargers fans? Joey Bosa's a cool guy. They've got a lot of rootable guys. I don't get why they're
Eh.
not there.
I can
I
tell
get
you
why
why.
people.
Rams fans are all bandwagons.
I can tell you why the Chargers have no fans. Number one, they moved to LA overnight. They just packed their bags. They didn't announce nothing. They just went from San Diego
Mm-hmm.
to LA. And number two, when they was in San Diego, they didn't have that many fans because San Diego, there's a lot to do than watch a Chargers game on a Sunday. Like you can go to an amusement park, you can go to the beach, you can go this place, this place, this place.
Yeah.
Who will waste their time watching the booty Chargers take the field on a Sunday night and
True.
go
Yeah.
to do something fun?
And
Exactly.
then the what was the next team? Oh, the Rams. Why is every Rams fan I ever met a 15-year-old Aaron Donald stan? If you
Exactly.
think about it, have you guys ever met an adult Rams fan?
No.
Genuinely. Even when they
No.
were in St. Louis. They don't exist. They don't exist. They're all little kids that you ask them anyone not named Matthew Stafford, Aaron Donald, or Cooper Cup, and they have no clue who you're talking about.
I'm like, who is your
Maybe
running back?
OBJ. They might know OBJ.
I went I went
Yeah,
to
they
a
know
Rams
OBJ.
fan. I went to a Rams fan. He was 15. I said, who is the Rams starting linebacker? He said, I don't know.
Well, I don't know their linebacker either, though.
Devin Lloyd.
Yeah,
I just know
but
what
you're
you.
not a
Ah,
Rams fan.
true.
You're not a Rams fan.
Like I asked one time, there was this dude who I was talking to, and like I was talking to him online, and he's like was like saying really stupid shit. And he was like talking about how the Rams were like the best team in football. And like to be fair, they are. Like, well, they're one of them. I think
Mm-hmm.
there's a few teams. I think the Bills are the best team of football if we're calling it like it is. But he's going on this rant, and I'm arguing why the Bills are better. And he's like, dude, Aaron Donald is just so good. And I'm like, who's y'all starting running back? I just want to he's like, Todd Gurley. And I'm like, you
Oh,
Googled Rams running backs right now, didn't you?
yes, because Todd Gurley definitely did.
Uh,
Cam
I
Akers
miss Todd
isn't
Gurley,
even that
man.
bad.
No, Cam Akers is a good running back. I like him. Like if I could have him on Seattle, I'd take him.
All right.
And then number one, uh, what's it? It's hell, who are they? Patriots fans. Patriots
Oh,
fans are so spoiled that they don't understand what it's like to lose, and it angers me.
yeah. They're like,
It's not even anything they did. It's just the fact that they don't understand what everyone else is going through.
yeah.
It's unfair. I'm upset. It's not their fault, but I hate you, Patriots fans.
I already see a film top five worst. Number five, he got a Tom Brady fan base. He said Tom Brady fans deserve their own spot. They're not even at a team; they deserve their own spot.
I
Number
agree.
four, number four is the
Yeah,
Yinzers. Number four is Pittsburgh because it's just the funny Yinzer people in Pittsburgh. Number three worst is Philly because they lose Santa Claus. How dare they? And number two are Raiders fans because despite my earlier in my life love Raiders fans, they're violent. Of course, they want to jump you in a parking lot as soon as you come out with the opposite team jersey. And the worst is Dallas because he's a 49ers fan and is Dallas Cowboys. I
Yeah.
mean, the top five best fans I got. Number five, I got the Broncos. They're just chill. They really don't say nothing. They know their place. All they do is just smoke weed and get high in the Mile High City. Number four, I got number four. Really, I got Carolina fans. Carolina fans, they do a lot. Yes, sometimes some of the people do a lot, but they're pretty much really cool. They don't say they're the best team every single year. If they are good, they'll celebrate it. If they're bad, they're bad. They're just going by their day. Number three, I got I got Jaguars fans. Really, I'm a Titans fan. This is not biased at all, but Jaguars fans, when they come to the Titans game, they say they tell me, "Hey, your team is gonna whoop us," and I say, "I know." Number two, yes, this is biased. This may be biased, but Titans fans. When have you ever met a Titans fan ready to jump you? Unless you're a Colts fan, then if you're a Colts fan, you deserve to get jumped at a Titans game. Like we hate y'all with every single bone in our body. Number one, I got the Bills. Bills Mafia. I mean, they're power bombing people through a flaming table. It's more
Exactly.
fun. It's more. It's more fun outside of New Era Field than inside New Era Field. But can we please have a moment of silence for the folding tables getting banned, though? 3 seconds.
They banned it?
They banned folding tables.
you know what probably happened though? Someone probably broke an arm jumping through a table, landed on ice, and they had to be like, "We're gonna get sued if we don't stop."
That's what football is about. That's what Bills Mafia is about. You break your arm, you got one other arm to drink beer with.
Did you? Exactly. Exactly. No, no, no. Hold on. They shirtless out in the cold, bro. That ain't beer. That's meth.
For
Yeah.
real. You can
It's
do whatever
negative
you want
30
to
with no
club.
shirt on.
Yeah. Like Ryan Fitzpatrick, I feel like he's a Bills fan. I love Ryan Fitzpatrick. He came to the Bills playoff game. It's freezing. It's snowing. It's like what 5 degrees outside. He's over there shirtless. That's what a Bills fan should be like. I love the Bills fan base.
Exactly. Ryan
Yeah.
Fitzpatrick is
All right,
the definition of it.
all right, my top five. Number five, Chiefs fans. Now, I hate Chiefs fans, but like I can respect them in like the sense of like, didn't they like set the noise record or something? Like as
Yeah.
fans, they're good fans.
Yeah.
They're
And that was
annoying, but
before
they're good
Patrick Mahomes.
fans.
And that was before Patrick Mahomes and everybody.
Yeah, before Patrick Mahomes, they were cool too. They just kind of got spoiled. Like I feel like if you drop Patrick Mahomes in any city, that would have happened. So I can live with
Yeah.
it. Uh, or Washington fans because of all the stuff they have to put up with, the Dan Snyder fiasco. That
Oh.
they've gone through a lot. They've had their fair share of pain, and I
That
respect them
Joe
for that.
Theismann and Alex Smith injuries.
Yeah.
On the same day.
Uh, number three, Detroit. Anyone that can sit there and watch a franchise that has been around since almost the beginning of a sport, not win a playoff game except for like what twice, and like not want to blow their brains out, I respect. Right? Like that's got to be one of the most. And they're hopeful. Like they're not like most sports franchises, like the Browns a few years ago. The Browns like accepted the fact they were never going to be good, and they kind of just like moped around. But like Lions fans have never been like, oh well, yeah, dude, this sucks. They're always like, we're gonna be so good next year, and then but like not in an annoying Cowboys way.
Yeah.
They're just like hopeful. Um, number two, I'm really biased here, but Seahawks fans, they're either really annoying or really cool, right? Like I feel
Yeah.
like you could put them at number one on either side of this list, and you'd be right.
Yeah.
They're just
Especially the ones that talk like the Seahawks before their Super Bowl runs.
yeah. The difference on good Seahawks fan and bad Seahawks fans are who was there before we beat the Broncos. Like that's literally it. If you want to know if someone's annoying or not, when did they start being a fan? And that'll tell you everything. And then
See it?
like, but mostly annoying Seahawks fans left whenever Russell Wilson left. So that's cool. Denver gets to deal with that now.
The
And
CFN.
then number one,
Mars, I want you to do it. Put Philadelphia on number one.
I would love to, but that means I have to leave the Bills out of my top five. We'll make it a tie. We'll
Yeah,
split
make
them.
it time. Split it.
All right, 1A, 1B. Because honestly, Eagles deserve to be on the list. I kind of just like, honestly, bump the Chiefs off and knock everyone down one. Eagles are second. Bills are first.
Yeah.
Why you guys
Because
like Eagle fans?
Eagles
okay,
fans are fair.
fans,
Like,
they're
I'm saying this
straight shooters. They've accepted it. They're just always angry, but in a good way. You
I'm,
know?
I'm
All
gonna tell you
right.
this though. As an Eagles fan, it's different because of Raiders. Like, if unless you're a fan of the Cowboys, the Giants, or Washington, you not gonna get jumped as soon as you pull out the parking lot. Eagles fans, they have accepted their violent, they have accepted their bad. They parade the fact that they boo Santa Claus. Like you see it as signs. You see it. People have signs in the stands talking about some. We're the only fan base to boo Santa Claus. They love the fact that they're bad to other teams. Like they just
Also,
parade the fact.
like the best and the worst city to play for at the same time because they're like the city of brotherly love. They'll let you know how they feel about you really quick. If they hate you, you're gonna know. If they love you, you're gonna know it.
Yeah.
And there's no.
Uh. Okay. My top five best fan bases. Mm. Okay. I'm gonna go with number 5. Uh. I'm gonna go with Denver. Denver. I literally have not seen one Denver Bronco fan be annoying while talking to them. Even when we start even when they try to trash talk, they don't go too far, or like some do. It just they just seem chill. Where would I put
We
4? Like I actually do like your placement at number 4 with Tennessee Titans. Tennessee, like I'm not seeing one Tennessee Titan fan get mad over someone saying their team's like talking about their team badly. I just haven't.
unless you're a
Uh,
Colts fan.
yeah, unless you're a Colts fan, that's just a given.
Mm.
So for third, I'm gonna go. You guys convinced me with number 3. I'm gonna put them at number 3 though. Number 3, is gonna be Eagles since they actually embraced it. Number 2, I'm putting the Bills Mafia for being crazy but not rude. Number 1, I'm gonna go with the Lions because I just feel how they feel. At least they're not sad as much, so I respect it.
Yeah. Here's the thing about the Eagles, though, is like I feel like I finally figured out the difference between the Eagles and the Raiders. Is like the Raiders' aggression comes from a place of rage, but Eagles' aggression comes from a place of pain.
Yeah.
like, like that's literally the only difference. It's like the Raiders hate the fact that they even exist, and the Eagles just want to be good, man.
Yeah, the 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 thing with the Raiders is they if you don't wear anything if you wear something that's not black or white or silver, like you're not. It's gonna be very hard for you not to get out of there without getting beat up or anything.
I walked out of my car with my. I went to a game with my dad. I walked out of my car, and all you hear is Raiders fans talking about some boo. You better not go in there. They're gonna beat you up, Tony. They're gonna beat you up. They said, like, I'm finna get jumped because I'm not a fan of the Raiders at a Raiders game.
Yeah.
No, true story. I had a friend on my high school football team that was a Raiders fan. And after every Raiders win, he would come in and everything from his socks, shorts, shirt, everything. He would wear a hat. He doesn't wear hats any other day. He'd wear a hat. Everything had a Raiders logo on it somewhere. All right. If the Raiders lost and you mentioned it to him, he would start crying hysterically. And I think that shows the intensity of Raiders fans right there.
Yeah. Like, uh, one of my best friends is a Steeler fan, right? And he every time like either the Steelers or the Browns face each other, I always, even if I lose, I always say something about how they something bad about their team. But we both know it's joking, and we don't get mad. That's the thing with the most AFC North things is both like it's good for trash talk, but it's not going too far.
Not on a real note, though, the most fun friendship there is you and someone that's fans of a team that's a division rival of yours. Like when the Seahawks were really good, I used to be friends with a Rams fan whenever Todd Gurley first started going, and like the Seahawks were on their way down, and Rams were on their way up. And like every time they played each other, the trash talk was just the most fun of my life.
Exactly. Uh,
Honestly, I'm ready to see a film. See a film. He said his fifth best are Broncos fans. He said he don't have any issues with them. They're just busy smoking weed in Denver. Everyone knows that. Fourth, a
mhm.
49ers fan because he's really biased. That's
Hey,
why.
fair.
Third are the Jets. They set the misery, so I give them credit. The Jets are actually horrible fans just because they live in New Jersey and they be trash talking with this accent. Or y'all might. Nah, that's Australian accent. I'm talking about like, you know you're going to do this. Like, come on. Like, they just be having that New Jersey accent. They be
Imagine,
trash.
I can't imagine if Britain gets a team eventually, and imagine their trash talk.
The second
No,
best are
we have
the
to bomb them. I'm sorry, I don't.
second best are the Cardinals because the ones that he have seen are usually great people, the, despite the 49ers and them wanting to kill each other because they're division rivals. They're really cool. I'll give them that. The best are the Chargers because they had no fans to be mad at. I mean,
Be
truthfully,
mad
they had
at.
no fans. I can.
It's not wrong.
I mean, you can't be mad at the fans if they don't have any.
This segment just ended up being us making fun of the Chargers having no fans and making fun of Raider fans.
Raiders fans, honestly, I hope I don't get jumped or backlash for this. If any Raiders fans are watching this, I'm sorry for disrespecting your team. Don't come find me and try and kill me, please.
Honestly, I'd be impressed if they found me. So, like Raiders fans, this is an invitation.
You're inviting Raiders fans to come jump you.
If you do it, honestly, I'm disabled. It's a hate crime, bud. Let's play.
Let's play.
Let's play. You think I won't sue your ass?
I mean, CFM just said, I think 95% of the Raiders fans have gone to jail for assault at least once.
That's got to be a typo. He has to mean 100%, right?
Yeah, I got.
Kind of like the play.
I think they have a policy where kids under the age of 5 can't go to Raiders games.
Oh, no, that's smart. That's a safety thing. It's smart.
Yeah, the Raiders fans just would take that as a challenge.
They'd use the kid to play football in the parking lot. They'll even play like they wouldn't.
They'll throw it. They'll light the kid on fire and throw it at the opposite team.
I get why they're so rageful though. They drafted Henry Ruggs and Damon Arnett, and they both went to jail.
And they drafted Jamarcus Russell first overall.
Hey, I can't talk about bad quarterback picks.
Nah, Jamarcus Russell was worse than any of the Browns quarterback picks. That man was drinking lean his entire career.
He had an addiction of cheeseburgers. He wouldn't study film unless they brought him 5 cheeseburgers.
No, that's Eddie Lacy, but
at least Eddie Lacy had some good years.
No, the Eddie Lacy fat jokes were overrated. He really was never fat. He was just like, I don't know. He just made like really dumb. I don't think he got worse as he got bigger. I don't know why that was like a big argument. Because like he broke the weight clause on the contract with Seattle, and he was still producing at the exact same level as he was when he was underweight. He was just not good at football anymore and used his weight as an excuse.
CFM said cheeseburger addiction is reasonable, as CFM stands for cheeseburger freedom, man. So we now know that CFM looks like a fat Raiders fan or something, but instead of Raiders, it's a 49ers fan.
Honestly, for anybody out there, I'm gonna make this statement. For any Colts fan who wants to come to Tennessee, I will send you. If you're a Colts fan, DM me. Make sure you put in the comments. Put your Instagram in the comments and DM me, and I'll DM you, and I will send you my address. Come fight me.
Now you say that you go get 6'8" requests in your comments.
Oh my gosh!
Colts fans, come fight me. I will give you my
shot up.
You can get pulled up, and I'm gonna take out all my anger on you.
I look like a Redder, totally not skinny as so
guys, I love the fact that it's the second episode of the podcast, and we're like, you guys know what we should do? We should polarize the entire everyone that watches this. If they're these 10, 5, 7, however many total teams we said, they're gonna hate us, and that's their fault.
Yeah, Raiders fans that hate us.
Just pick random.
I mean, Raiders fans hate everybody.
Hey, at least we won't have any Charger fans to yell at us though.
For real. Honestly,
it's gonna be Justin Herbert himself in our comments talking about the fuck you talk about.
Yeah.
You play in front of 23 fans a game. What you mean? What we talking?
Yeah.
Nah, it's gonna be really crazy. They could have a home Super Bowl and they straight up would not have home field advantage.
Like you
Exactly.
have it. Like you be the most disadvantaged team because you're gonna be on the way. You're gonna be the away team. Like every single game is an away game, no matter if you're actually on the road or at home.
Yeah.
And I blame Philip Rivers.
I
Dude,
mean, you
Philip
saw him.
Rivers. Nobody.
They had
Phil.
some fans before they had some fans, and then for like the Philip Rivers last year there, he started like they'd have like a 10-point lead. He'd be like, "Excuse me while I throw 2 pick-sixes,"
Exactly.
and then people would just stop showing up because they knew what was gonna happen. And then Justin Herbert comes along and is like playing like a demigod of football, but no one's showing up.
Oh yeah, for the Phil Rivers, we're gonna get Phil Rivers kids to come after us, bro.
I'm gonna
All
say
his
that would be
13 kids.
that would be pretty scary because he has like a bunch of kids.
The Chargers lost 8 fans when Rivers retired.
Doesn't he have like a starting baseball lineup or some shit, like
Yeah,
9 kids or some shit?
Yeah,
he has a
bro,
starting baseball line.
bro. Yeah. Phil Rivers has more kids than Chargers have fans. Okay.
I'm just like, honestly, that's probably most state fans be at the game. Is his kid? That's probably the fans that be at his game.
Because Philip Rivers is damn pissed off that he didn't get to end his career there.
Yeah,
They ain't even going to that game no more. They just go
Yeah.
to like USC games or something because it's close enough.
Is that? I am I the only one who forgot Phil Rivers even played for the Colts like 2020?
oh, I didn't forget.
Did that really count though? Also, if he would have
Listen,
played for the Colts this year, can we talk about how they might have had a Super Bowl run if he would have just played one more year?
no,
He said,
no, no, no,
I
absolutely
already
not.
knew you were gonna say that.
Like the only problem they had was QB play. Like if Philip Rivers would have just said, "I'll wait one more year." I mean, if the Bengals got lucky enough to go that far, I mean, I don't see why the Colts couldn't have.
They didn't get lucky. They did not get lucky.
Marsh, I
God,
feel, Marsh, I
God
feel
was
like
on
you
the
can
field.
have M come after you, bro.
I don't care. They did not get lucky. See, what happened
Now
was
the
Tannehill.
now the Colts have another Rivers clone in Matt Ryan for a year or two. CFM said.
No, Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan is close to being a Rivers clone, except that like I don't know. There's more questions around Matt Ryan because I don't know if he's just like bad or if coaching is bad in Atlanta because they changed coaches. And when Dan Quinn was there, he was still playing well. Like this is the chance to find out like everything we know about Matt Ryan. We're gonna know
Just
this
think
year.
he's.
Or at
Just
least
the thing
partially.
is, he's old. He would be past his prime normally.
I hope Matt
I mean,
Ryan
yeah.
falls off the airplane.
I don't hate.
Nah. I want more good Matt Ryan year just for nostalgia. It
Dude,
doesn't have to be elite, and I don't like I don't care if they win the division or not. You can still have your division M, okay? They're not taking it. But I want Matt Ryan to play one more good year just for memories.
I
uh,
hope Matt Ryan breaks all his legs on his first flight.
dude, I don't hate a fan base that bad, bro.
I hate we ask any Titans fan. We hate the Colts with every single bone in our body
You would think the Browns would hate Steelers like that, but nah. Why? So why is the Colts so hated?
because we can't beat them.
Ah,
That's exactly, and they talk noise every time they do beat us. They embarrass us at home every single time, and I'm tired of it.
even though you guys have better team statistically.
We have a better team every single time we play them in Tennessee. They just find a way to beat us. Like we can't be, like we beat them easily in Indianapolis, but we can't beat them in Tennessee.
So it's basically the Colts should probably move to Tennessee instead because that's their home advantage.
Apparently, that's their home advantage, and we hate it.
Oh my god. See, look at
Also,
CF.
Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning. That's all.
Peyton Manning, bro, his forehead is so large.
Yes, and we basically made a
You
donkey
guys,
statue.
you guys want to know a really random fun fact about Peyton Manning?
What?
He had a worse statistical start to his career, like first 3 or 4 years, than Jameis Winston.
James Winston's actually
Jameis
good though.
Winston, Jameis Winston for the first 5 years of his career threw for more yards, less interceptions, and more touchdowns.
Even
Hold on, James
after,
Winston threw less interceptions.
uh, remember when people, when at the like before everyone saying Peyton Manning couldn't win a Super Bowl because he had so many good teams that he could not lead to a Super Bowl win a couple times. With
To be fair, like I still think that didn't the Saints beat him in the Super Bowl once?
yeah,
Yes, and I was happy. I
Who
was
did he
elated
beat? Who did he beat when he was with the Colts?
to go
did
to the
he
Super
win a
Bowl.
Super Bowl in the Colts?
Yeah, because he won two and one with Denver.
Mm.
He beat Chicago in the Super Bowl with
Oh, Rex
Marcus.
Grossman. It was Rex
Yeah,
Grossman that year.
yeah. That's all I've got to say. Chicago's never been. Chicago
Oh,
has not been good since the '80s, and that
oh no,
stands.
we're gonna have Chicago fans talk about the '85 Bears again, bro.
Oh, please let them. I have actual arguments against the '85 Bears being mid. I say mid like they weren't a good team, but compared to other Super Bowl teams, mid. You cannot change my mind on this, and it is extremely biased. I don't care. 2012 Seahawks are better than the '85 Bears.
Who was the last Bears good QB? See if I'm asked.
Jay Cutler.
Oh, Jay Cutler. Jay Cutler was a god, but like for all
He-
the wrong reasons.
uh,
I love Jay Cutler. The sport needs Jay Cutler back.
yeah,
You guys
Freaking
hear when Jay Cutler divorced his wife? She like asked for like $20 million in the divorce, and in
he gave
court
her
he said, "How
$10.
about you get an effing job?"
I feel like Jay Cutler should be signed to the Seahawks. Not even to start or anything, just to be there.
Send Jay Cutler down to Tennessee.
We need.
Uh,
Didn't Jay Cutler try getting into coaching? I heard that he
Yeah.
did, but like no one would hire him because it's Jay Cutler.
dude, how about at least I'm just even all the bad Browns coaches. At least we didn't have Urban Meyer, Jag
I
fans,
think
bro.
the problem with Urban Meyer is that most kids didn't know the rule. Like a coach should never hit a kid. I'm gonna say that right now. And I feel like college kids didn't know that because that's like, yeah, your high school coach didn't do anything to you, but like this is college, get good. And like Urban Meyer could get away with, yeah, I'm gonna kick this kid, or yeah, I'm gonna bitch this
And
kid out, and yeah, I'm
yeah,
gonna yell at my college assistant coaches because those are students too. But then when
yeah,
he got to the NFL, he didn't realize that shit wasn't gonna fly. So like these guys who are grown ass men and know the program, and they're just and he's trying to like still pull off this power trip, and it's just not gonna go.
I
yeah. For
love
the
But
Urban Meyer.
yes, people don't say that when Urban Meyer Ohio State thing. Yes, I know we had him in Ohio State, but that at least even if he was doing all the bad things like he was, at least he was actually statistically good at the time in college. Not
I mean, I don't know. I think I'd rather have a bad program than a kid getting kicked in the fucking
true.
mouth.
Bro got then he kicked the kicker. Bro kicked his own kicker, bro.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah. I
that
feel like. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I said, well, you can go because I'm gonna do the outro.
All right. I said I feel like Urban Meyer was definitely getting more aggressive at in college than he was in the NFL. He was definitely a little more hands-on with athletes.
All right, so guys, I'll wrap it up for the second episode of Poor Opinion Sports. I'm M, and CM, and Marsh, and CFM. We'll be back with another episode of Scoopers and Can. scheduling is hard with 4 people. Also, I hope that half the NFL fans do not come at us in the comments, please. There's several Chargers fans. I don't know who the Chargers fans are, but y'all local metallic noise in the comments. But gotta wrap it up. I'll see y'all later.
See ya.